Hello, hello, and welcome. My name is Tahra, and we have Krystal, and we are so excited about our very first virtual teachers lounge, and we're even more thrilled that you're here with us during these after hours. So thank you for attending. We're going to give folks just an opportunity to join the lounge. And so if you haven't done so already, make sure you have something. Oh, and please turn your cameras on. Thank you. Thank you. Please turn your cameras on because you have access to your cameras and your microphone. This, you guys, is not a typical webinar as we've been promoting. It is more of an opportunity to have a conversation around topics such as this evening, classroom management. So we want this to feel like a safe space. So if you're wanting to, please feel free to turn your camera on, turn your microphone on. Don't feel like you have to utilize the chat because we want the conversation to flow. If you could go ahead and drop into chat as we're waiting for folks to join us, where you're from. We'd love to just get an idea of our audience. So just tell us where you're from. If you want to drop your school district, that would be awesome. Just curious, that's all. I'm in California, so my cozy beverage today, because it was 90 degrees today, is actually water. So I don't know. I'm sure my East Coasters, you probably have something that I intended to have, like tea or something, or coffee, or whatever your beverage of choice is. But yeah, I'm also curious to know like where you're at, if you're actually in a comfy spot. We hope so. We hope so. We want to set the atmosphere right for this conversation. So go ahead and drop it into chat, and don't forget you have access to your microphones as well as your cameras. We'd love to see your faces. Okay, I see Utah. Hold on one second. Let me go into my chat. Oh, Canada. Yay. I love that our Canada friends are joining us on our virtual experiences. Love that. Welcome, welcome. Baltimore, nice. Jersey. My father lives in Jersey. He's actually in Lawrenceville, outside of Princeton. Baltimore, Georgia. Lovely. Vegas. So to my East Coasters, thank you for joining us. It's later there. Vegas, Utah, nice. Ohio, another Utah, Canada, Texas. Beautiful. How do you turn your camera on? Is it not allowing you to just click hold on one second. Typically, it lets you just click the camera icon. But let me just confirm that have I granted that access, Krystal? Do you have, I think I thought I did.
I believe it is granted.
Okay. So yeah, I think it's
my phone here.
I think I turned all of that on.
Oh, yeah. Everybody should be able to.
Yeah, you should. So there's a camera icon. It'll look just like an old movie camera. And if you just click on it, it should turn it on for you. And it should be at the top. That's where mine is. So I'm kind of assuming everyone else is too.
Yes, we would definitely love to see your lovely faces and hear your voices, and we can't wait to talk story with you through this this meeting, this virtual teachers lounge. So I'm Krystal. I teach in Hawaii. It's 2:30 here, 2:30 p.m. and we actually just finished our parent-teacher conferences.
Oh.
So that's what we did all day. I got coffee. This is my saving grace for today. Wow. I got through the day.
I love it.
I've been loving a white chocolate mocha with matcha cream foam.
Cold foam. Nice.
That if you like matcha, if you ever tried the matcha flavored Kit Kat, it kind of tastes like that. So
wait a second. I actually love the matcha flavored Kit Kat. I was like, this is amazing.
Order. So we're gonna get an ice shaken espresso with 2 pumps of white mocha and matcha cream cold foam, and I promise it will taste like a matcha.
I love that. Thank you. Awesome. Awesome. Anyone else happen to have their favorite beverage with them? Just curious. We're just shooting the breeze while we wait for folks to jump on. Anyone want to share? Oh, did you see that Krystal talk story gave it away?
You know, I realized that when I was saying that as like one of my things I was like talking about it on Instagram, and I was like, you know what? I don't know if anyone's gonna understand what talk story means, but it's a local, it's a term we say here in Hawaii when we're having conversations. So it's like,
I
oh, you want to
love
talk
it.
to me? So it's kind of broken pigeon English, but
I love it.
I'm so we
I want to
recognize must have some Hawaii ties. Tell us more. I want to hear.
I know, I know. Are you guys, and hopefully again, if you're able to unmute, we would love, love, love that. And then, like I said,
Yes.
I have given, I'm going participants. Yeah, I've given everybody full
I see
access.
one brave soul with their camera on.
So
I
I,
know, thank you.
Thank you so much.
I don't know if you guys can hear me.
We
Yeah,
can.
hey, we
Yeah.
Okay.
can.
Yeah, I just want to say I'm the one that mentioned Talk Story gave it away. I lived in Hawaii for 18 years before I moved to Georgia, so I really miss hearing Pigeon.
Aw, love that.
No,
Welcome.
thank you.
Thank you for joining us, Leslie.
Yes, I'm glad to be here. I need help with classroom management.
Nice. Love, love, love. Well, I truly appreciate you guys. Just real quick, introducing yourselves again. So excited about where everyone is from. Oh, you figured it out. Yay, Susan. um, thank you for joining us. I realize it's after hours, which is why truly at the heart of this meetup is what we're calling it versus it being a webinar, because that's so formal, is an opportunity for us to come together in a more relaxed setting and talk shop but when I don't even want to say like to talk shop, but really have a conversation around the topics that we're going to be going through for this series. And the first one happens to be classroom management, which I know is so near and dear to everyone's heart as an educator. And just a little bit of background for me, I was in the classroom not very long, but about 6 years. When I taught, I taught gifted education. So I had my gifted kiddos for a couple of years where it was just fifth grade, and then I actually did more itinerant where I would pull K through 5 out, and I loved it. It was something I was super passionate about, and just the challenge orientation of myself. I was like, okay, what's next? And so I got into professional development in the ed tech world and just kind of kept going with that. And so now I'm with ViewSonic, and I run the educator community, and I love it because it's like this culminating experience of all the things that I'm so passionate about as it relates to education. And so I hope that that passion that I have comes through as far as what I am endeavoring to do with the resources that are in the educator community. So that's a little bit about me. Krystal gave you a little introduction, but I'll let her give a little bit more and then we'll get started.
Yeah, absolutely. So my name is Krystal, and I teach at a public school on the island of Oahu. So I'm from Hawaii. I grew up there. One big thing in Hawaii is we always like to say what high school we're from. So like everything in me wanted to like say, oh yeah, I'm from whatever high school, and then but I feel like oh yeah, but nobody would even know what that means. But that's just a little like we all have some strange quirks out here.
I know what it means. I would love to hear.
I'm just
I love that.
so if
Where you in grad?
you're always like, oh yeah, you meet somebody, you say, oh, what high school you went graduate from, and then you have to say, oh, I went to Kapolei High School, and then they immediately judge you based on.
Everybody does it though. Everyone does it.
So I'm like, oh well, you know. So I kind of teach in my hometown area, so the students that I teach will end up at the high school that I went to. So I feel like that's very full circle for me.
Yeah.
So I've been teaching for 11 years now, graduated from the University of Hawaii at Manoa. I have a little Instagram that I share lots of random teacher things and resources. I do have a classroom management resource for everybody here today. I can't wait to talk more about that later. But yeah, I'm just really excited to be here. I'm really glad all of you are here today to dive into classroom management. Because honestly, sometimes I still struggle too. Like, the kids, they're not getting easier. And like I said, I think a big misconception is the more you teach, like the better, the easier things get. And I'm still waiting for the year. I'm like, wow, I finally made it. Like, teaching is easy. I think I'm lying to myself if I say that. So I still struggle, and I know that all of you out there, share similar struggle, and that's why we're all here today to just kind of fill each other's cups, um, metaphorically, and one, you're not alone. Two, it's a hard job. It's a thankless job, and I really believe that more of us need to just come together to kind of like tackle the management is a big one. So thank you again for being here.
Absolutely. So thank you for that introduction and really kind of getting us started. I'm so kind of passionate about this particular series because, as Krystal just said, it's what we need. So often when we're in the classroom, while we have our peers on either side of us, across from us, we really do feel like we're on an island. And so knowing that you have a more global community here to support you is important. And I think it's in this season that we're teaching in, because it's not getting easier, it's more important than ever. So I'm just curious. Now that we're in the end of October, so the dust has started to settle from back to school. How are you feeling? Like, what's working, what's not working with classroom management? What do you think? So thinking about, and you'll see on the screen, if you can recall as you're thinking about what's working, what's not working, like what's one moment in the classroom of chaos you'll never forget? Was it funny, frustrating, or just eye-opening? And I'd love just anyone to share.
Yeah, so please, again, everybody, cameras on, mics unmuted at whenever you want to share. Like, this is a conversation, not a webinar, just a chance for fellow educators across the nation to come together and talk about classroom management, share ideas. So if anybody would like to step up and be brave to share a memory, moment of classroom, go ahead, Leslie.
Yes, go Leslie.
I just need so much help. So I am a brand new teacher. I'm a special education teacher for 7th grade students in an urban setting in Augusta, Georgia. So like everything is new. I'm having trouble with the SPED students, keeping them in their seats and not hitting one another, not dancing around or making noise. The first week I started, I had a girl accidentally kick a boy in his private parts, and I was mortified. I went home and cried.
Wow.
So that's
yikes. Yeah.
I feel like I would be scared to like tell the parents. Like they would be like, oh, does anybody else get like parent conversation anxiety? I'm just like, oh, how am I going to explain this one to their parents?
Right. That's definitely that's a tough one, and definitely understand the your emotion as far as how you felt as the teacher. And I think one of the things, and remember we used to hear it a lot during the pandemic about how we've got to give ourselves grace, like give being able to, we want to extend grace, but being very comfortable with giving ourselves grace because, we are human and things aren't always going to go perfect and we're one person and things happen in the class. And it's like, so I, I understand how that would be tricky because I know, of course, the parents thinking, well, where were you? And, like they expect us to be in all places at all times. So wow, that's a tough one. I
Anybody else
understand.
share chaos stories?
Share.
Love to hear more. Just be brave. No
It's
judgment
okay.
here. We're all
At
teachers.
all, please. Oh, good. I'm glad to
Hello,
hear that,
everyone.
Nancy. Hi.
Hey.
Hi, my name's Christina. I'm an after-school teacher for the after-school program, and so for us, the chaos happens when we're understaffed. Like for
Yeah.
example, yesterday, my boss was out. I had another teacher out, so I'm the site coordinator for the after-school program, and it was just me and two other aides with like 50 students. So it's just so chaotic to just get
Yeah.
them to sit down and have snack and then transition from snack to homework and reading and then just have them transition again to the activity. It's just difficult when we're understaffed.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Goodness. Goodness. How did that did it how did you manage it? Like what did you do to just get through it?
So what I did was I put all of them in the cafeteria, and since
Mhm.
we have tables of 8, what I did, I went around to my tables and I spoke to each table and I said, "Okay, you're in charge." I put one student in charge of each table
Nice.
and said, "Hey, you guys have to keep each other accountable." And so at this moment, it's homework and reading time, and that worked for us.
Nice. Nice. That's awesome. That's awesome. As educators, if we don't think on our toes, like, what do we do? So I love it. That makes perfect sense. Thank you for sharing. I'm sure that was enlightening for everyone. Thank you. Anyone else have a story to share?
I saw Susan shared in the chat
Oh,
that she's 29 years teaching fifth grade science social studies and just talking generally about the parents not wanting to learn or no, sorry, the students not wanting to learn and then the parents not being supportive. Um, Caitlin, if you want to unmute and tell us more about your,
oh no, Caitlin.
feel free. You don't have to, no pressure, but if you'd
Oh
like
my
to,
goodness.
that would be awesome.
That and I mean the unsupportive parent situation is so hard. So hard. Oh. Understand, Caitlin. And again, I'm we know that this is for many of us, this is bedtime, dinner time, all those things. So we completely understand. So we just appreciate you joining us. So thank you. Or is there anyone else who wants to share a moment just to get it off your chest or just to celebrate with you because you got through it?
I'll share something.
Okay. Oh, go ahead.
Please. Mhm.
I was just gonna say, so I'm the Canadian. Hi, everybody. This is
Hi.
fascinating for me because you guys have special education classrooms and we don't do that here.
Oh.
So that's quite interesting to me.
Yeah.
We have all of our students with exceptionalities in our classrooms.
Okay.
So that in itself
Yeah.
causes a lot of classroom management challenges when you have students with, exceptionalities who need extra support, and we're still trying to manage like 20 other kids, or 25, or sometimes 30. So I'll give you an example of so right now I'm working as a guidance counselor, K-12 schools, between two schools, which could be two full-time jobs, I swear. But I am dealing with students with attendance concerns right now, and dealing with this kiddo that they come one day a week. And so that classroom teacher and I are trying to work on how do we make this less disruptive for everybody else when they're constantly having to go and give very intense directions to this kid who we can't even assess at this point for report cards coming up because we just don't have enough, but it's so off-putting to the rest of the kiddos in that room when randomly they show up. And so then we're trying to manage that and help this kid, but then our students with other exceptionalities get off their routine, right? And it's like just balancing that out is challenging on a day-to-day.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Wow. That is a lot. That's a lot to manage. My goodness. Thank you for sharing. And I'm always so intrigued by, again, we're a global community, but how things happen in other parts of the world in terms of, how with how special education and inclusion and all that is treated. So thank you for that. I saw there was someone put something in the chat.
I just, you're saying to share something. I think they're chaos every day.
Yeah.
And it's, so every day you're sort of being tested. How are you going to handle it? And every day is something new. And you have by now we know our kiddos, and we know how sometimes a lot the day's going to be. You already, so if something different happens, it's a surprise. Let's say if they are following directions or they're not shouting out. I'm in kindergarten, and I think I have a couple of children which are not assessed yet, but they're disruptive. They'll go under the table. They'll start rolling around on the carpet. And, because those are the really bad ones, but then I have one sort of borders, and I was counting them, and I said, oh my God, every day I call like about 9 kids constantly, for them to do something, for them to stop doing what they're doing, to be respectful, to not hit somebody else. And I'm saying, and I apologize to the other kids, to the great listeners, right, that want to come, that they're coming to school to learn. And I stop and I talk to them. I said, listen, other children want to learn. And now I'm saying, it's okay if you don't want to learn at this moment, but you can't be disruptive.
Right.
But of course they don't understand that. So that's why I'm saying every day it's a new challenge. You have to laugh at the things that they do. Otherwise you'll go crazy. Sometimes it's frustrating.
Yeah.
I have one that just yells out all the time for anything. If he doesn't have his book, if he doesn't have his pencil, and things are right in front of him. But it's like, he can't pick them up, I guess. And I contribute all of that to either needing attention, sometimes a lot of them, or they're being given too much attention, which at kindergarten, I think sometimes parents they over take care of, I guess, I don't know. Or they overprotect, and they want to do everything for them. So I constantly tell the parents, please allow them to grow, to become independent.
Yes.
Because I have 24 children. I go, I cannot sit with one, with your, somebody else needs me, somebody else needs me. And I go, and we can't. And they need to get used to find your pencil, and that's problem solving. If look under your desk, pull out your book, let's turn it to this page. And it amazes me that probably half of the class are not able to do that. And this is kindergarten. And they just sit there sometimes with a pencil, and I get sarcastic with them, and I look up and I go, what are you waiting for? And it's like, I need a pencil. It's like, okay, so how can you solve your problem?
Right.
What can you do? I go, oh, you need a pencil. That means you have a problem. You need something. How can you solve it?
Mm.
So, but
Right.
I have to do this with them, each one. Well, there goes the time, right?
Right.
Math time
Right.
is over.
Right.
Reading time is over. And it's just, sometimes I want to ignore them sort of to see if they get it. Other times it's like, I ask a friend, can you please show them where the pencils are if they don't have them in front of them? But I keep 10 pencils and 2 boxes of crayons that they share between two children, and they still can't find pencils. So it's like, oh my God, what do I do? And then you need to teach.
Right. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's the part, is that it's funny, because even when I was in the classroom, I felt like one of the years, the kiddos had so many social, emotional needs that I was like, when am I going to ever get to the curriculum? Because I was trying to just deal with what they were bringing to the classroom. And we know that impacts learning. So it's like, you can't ignore it. So you gotta try to do what you can to address it, but then also trying to teach. So I hear you.
Mhm. And then it's something new, because nowadays it doesn't matter how long you've been teaching, and you try to move on with the times or with the new things.
Mhm.
We have the view board, or I put the recording, because of course I can't compete with a computer. They're used to the computer, the screens. Just to see how can you get to them. And
Yeah.
of course there's those kids that are just wonderful. They say, oh, why
Right.
can't they all be like this?
Right.
Yeah, but
Right.
it's learning, and I think it's I call it's like testing me every single day.
Yes.
What is it that we can do? And of course I go home and I said, God, what can I do to get to this child? So
Yeah.
at least get his pencils, get his books out, just the minimum stuff,
Right.
and it's like, and the more you talk, you talk to the parents, but I said, explain it to them, because I know, explain the homework, but don't sit with them. Put a
Mhm.
timers, because I use timers a lot. Put a little timer and see what they do. I don't know.
That's good. No, understood. They need some to help with that self-regulation. Absolutely. That's good. That's good. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. I'm just going to the chat really quick, make sure I haven't missed anything. I appreciate all the chatter happening there. So, and you can kind of see how they responded to your story. Wow. Yeah. Love that. Love that. So, I mean, as you can see, as you're listening and you're reading along in the chat, on so many different levels, right? Where things resonate, right? That might not be our exact situation that we're facing in our classrooms, but there's aspects thereof that resonate with us. And again, that in and of itself kind of helps break down the isolation barrier, where you feel like, oh, wait, I'm not in this by myself. Other people are experiencing this. It's not just me. And I think that's important. I do, because like I said, what teaching is not easy, period. It's not easy. And like others have said, it's thankless. And just knowing that there's support around you. And I know we all have our teaching friends and colleagues, but knowing like even outside of that, we're just endeavoring to just extend that that boundary even more, so where you have even more support.